guys, Mr. J here with Fanboy Junction. And today is going to be some of Mr. J's comic book picks. Now, given that it's me and that I don't always talk about stuff that's just happened or is brand new, we're going to talk about a couple old books. Two of them are probably about 25 years old. The other's probably about maybe 10. The first one is one of my favorite characters and one of my favorite books, and that is Captain Britain. Now, as you can see, Alan Davis, and look at that, Alan Moore. The big thing about this is Captain Britain is one of the only Marvel characters that Alan Moore ever wrote. And he wrote this book, and then there is a second book just simply called Captain Britain, and it was the storyline that took place right before the Excalibur series started. Now, this one, I admit, this is Alan Davis, I think one of his first real monthly gigs. So the art's a little rough at the beginning, but you can see as the stories go on how he turns into the fantastic artist that he is today. A lot of people look at Captain Britain and think Psylocke, think mutants. That's not the case here. There are superpowered characters in here, but ultimately, this book kind of defines who he becomes going forward in the late 80s into the 90s. And part of that, to me, is a tragic hero. He's not your Boy Scout Superman. It's kind of like if you had Superman's powers but Wolverine's anger issues. And that's how his character develops in this storyline. He's also, it's kind of interesting, and this is where it comes from, is he's afraid to die. And you don't see that in a lot of, characters. I think a lot of people didn't like Iron Man 3 because they didn't want to see their hero kind of, freaking out about stuff. But, as much as we all want to believe that we're going to be the best and most courageous hero, some of those things psychologically affect people. And that's what I appreciate most about Iron Man 3. But back to this. Flawed character. See an artist turning into a fantastic artist and some incredible writing. If you haven't read this, pick it up. I think I got this for $5 online. You can find it anywhere. It is Captain Britain, Alan Moore, Alan Davis. Highly recommend it. Pick it up. It's a little older, but definitely solid work. My other pick is actually, it's really dark. I enjoyed it, but it's not one of those where, I'm trying to think about how to say this. They made a movie of it, but the movie was nowhere near as dark as the movie was. It was nowhere near as dark as the book, and that is The Crow. Now, I will admit that the art isn't great. I mean, when I read about J.O. Barr and what this book actually meant to him, it was more of a bleeding on the page. He was dealing with some issues of his own personal life, and it just kind of became the story. Now, the poetry, the songs that he quotes and uses, and just the art itself, it's very gothic, very dark. But ultimately, at its core, it's a revenge story. And it's a revenge story of, for me, the most pure kind. And that's when somebody takes the person you love. And we're not talking about, like, your girlfriend. I mean, like the person you love. This is the kind of thing, again, where if somebody were to take mine, this is the kind of thing I would want to do. And it's, I will admit, it's dark. It's real dark. We're not talking about, like, somebody like Batman who's trying to protect the city and make sure nobody else goes to that. You're talking about somebody who's just hell-bent on killing anybody involved with what happened, anybody who stands in his way. So I would definitely recommend this. Again, this is one of these books. It's been so long since it's come out. You can probably find it in your standard stores, but find it online. I would always say, here's my tip for people who are buying comics online. Always take into consideration the shipping, because there's times I found a book that's like $10, and then you ship it, and it's another $5 or $10, and at that point, it's almost $20. You might as well just buy it from a bookstore. But sometimes, if you're willing to do the research, you can find these for about $5 shipping, $10, bam, it's yours. Again, The Crow, J.O. Barr, definitely recommend it. I can't recommend it enough. In fact, I read this probably every 2 years. Captain Britain, the one I just talked about, I think I read it like every 6 months. And then my last one, this is back when it's kind of funny. I didn't even realize it till now. I guess I really do love Alan Moore because this is top 10. This is the two that you can get it. This is two separate paperback. I didn't get the hardbound one. I'm sure you can find a collection that has both of them together. But to me, this series, I can't say it's original, but it's such a different take. I kind of say if you combine CSI, one of these CSI shows with superheroes, that's what this series is. On top of that, Jin Ha does the art inside, and sometimes some of the most fun is finding the random characters he puts in the background. You know, there's a scene in one of these books, I wish I could find it, where they're at a train station, and if you take the time to look in the train station, you'll find just crazy references, random characters that, you know, from Star Trek to Batman to Justice League to the trio of Hanna-Barbera superheroes, alternate versions from the Age of Apocalypse. I mean, it's just crazy the amount of, you know, background fun you can have. And that was part of what I do sometimes. I'll just look through this and try and find characters I didn't see before. Again, a little more adult. I'm assuming that since you're on YouTube watching this, you're probably late teens, early 20s, or whatever age you are. So, you know, do keep in mind that some of the subject matter of this is pretty adult. I don't want you buying this and, oh, it's a comic, and go, you know, give it to a 10-year-old because they're going to freak out. But I would say, again, Alan Moore is one of my favorite writers. Guy's kind of loopy, but he's one of my favorite writers. The art in this is fantastic. The storyline is great. I would say, you know, get the first 10 issues. I read the 2 follow-up series. There was one that kind of told the background of Captain Trainer. It was okay. There was one that was kind of a sequel to this. I didn't enjoy it as much, but I would definitely highly recommend these 2. So, in conclusion, Captain Britain, Alan Moore, Alan Davis, the first book. You can find it anywhere. Fantastic story. And even the follow-up to this, the Captain Britain, which is actually a yellow-bound book, says like pre-Excalibur. That one is a great follow-up. But this one, highly recommend. Intense story, great art, a different take on the hero. The Crow, ultra-violent, gothic, dark, very poetic. I don't want to say it's going to make you cry, but definitely, you know, you can see where this guy's coming from, and all of us probably want to do this. And for just crazy entertainment, and like I said, take some time, look through the backgrounds, and try and find how many random characters appear from different things. I think there was even a Lost in Space, like characters in the background of one of the panels. Anyway, top 10. First series, great. Well, if you've read these and you want to talk about it, please comment below. If you want some more suggestions or want, you know, have anything you want to talk about, again, email me. Email is going to go right there. Boosh. All right. fanboyjunction@gmx.com. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys later.